been described as the greatest villain in history and the greatest hero. A radical revolutionary, a lawyer, an amazing public speaker, president of the Committee of Public Safety, and most importantly, a complicated man. So who is Robespierre, and why is he considered one of the most ruthless people in history? Robespierre was born on the 6th of May 1758. He came from a well-off family with many generations being lawyers. When Robespierre was just 6 years old, his mother tragically passed away after giving birth to a stillborn baby. Consumed by grief, his father left his 4 children in the care of their maternal grandparents for the rest of their childhood. Robespierre had an education in Paris and earned a law degree in 1781. He was earning a steady income and advocated for the rights of the people. So how did he become a revolutionary and a killer? Soon after earning his law degree, Robespierre became a public lawyer and began to argue against the corruption of the French monarchy. His reputation grew and he became known as a defender of the poor. He was even given the nickname the Incorruptible, indicating his level of support at the time. He was rigid with his values and was strongly opposed to slavery and execution at this stage. Historian Thomas Carlyle described him as the sea-green incorruptible. Robespierre soon became very intense with his disdain towards the French monarchy, and soon became one of the closest allies of the revolutionaries, more specifically the radical Jacobins, who became his main supporters. However, because of his radical beliefs, many of his contemporaries opposed Robespierre. The 2 main groups who opposed him were the Girondins, who, while still opposing the monarchy, were much less radical with their beliefs, and hoped that instead of executing Louis XVI, they could instead pressure him into changing his policies, and the monarchists, who were 100% against Robespierre and the Jacobins. Historian Marisa Linton states, "He was a tireless advocate for liberty and equality, yet, to defend these principles, he was prepared to adopt the terror. After years of revolution and political conflict, the Jacobins finally succeeded after Louis XVI was put on trial and executed. During the trial, Robespierre argued that the king must die so that the country can live. Robespierre became one of the most powerful men in France. Although once being against any form of capital punishment, Robespierre began executing anyone who opposed him, which resulted in the deaths of thousands by execution. The period when Robespierre was in power has since been known as the Reign of Terror." The public began to despise Maximilien Robespierre. He went from being the leader of a revolutionary group that wanted a better France to a tyrannical maniac driven mad by power who was willing to kill anyone who questioned that power. The people grew restless and rose up against Robespierre, as he had once done to the monarchy. Knowing that his days were numbered, Robespierre allegedly attempted suicide, but instead shot himself in the jaw. In this image shown of Robespierre's death mask, you can see a clear bullet wound in his jaw. Robespierre was ejected from office and was put on trial to be executed. He was found guilty. According to accounts, Robespierre was executed face up, a different method to common executions. And with Robespierre's death, the Reign of Terror came to an end. Today, Robespierre is most well remembered for his reign of terror throughout France. However, today we can also see the long-term effects of his work in helping the French Revolution succeed, and how he helped bring democracy to France. Now that we have seen Robespierre's troubled childhood, his slow rise to power, his selfless actions, his reign of terror, and eventually his demise, would he be considered a hero or a villain? Although his execution of thousands of innocent people is hard to ignore, as stated previously, we can see the benefits that his support of the French Revolution had to France. The French Revolution paved the way for France to become a democracy-based nation, and a nation that's built on everyone being treated equal. Because of these reasons, it is most accurate to describe Robespierre as a hero and a villain. However, it all depends on perspective.